This is KevB from the D. And when I say D, I'm talking about Detroit City. East Side, all day, every day. In case you didn't know, what up, Doe? Let's get into it.
Kevin Brown grew up in this neighborhood on Detroit's East Side. He's faced some of the worst, most tragic circumstances imaginable.
They'll be taking Kevin, they'll be taking everybody else.
And Detroit's own Kevin Brown.
Joining us today is a Detroit success story, Kevin L. Brown.
As a teenager growing up on Detroit's East Side, life was tough for Kevin Brown.
There's something I really need you guys to understand. That everything you need to be successful, you already have. You have to understand that it's natural for us to make excuses because of fear. But we're fearing something that doesn't exist. The biggest fear is to live life without any attempt to be what you're supposed to be. Understand this. You are capable. You are worthy. You can be an influence. For the last 12 years, I let my life suffer. My wife suffered. My children suffered. Even my English Bulldog suffered because I was too afraid to walk into the natural essence of what God had for me. And that essence is what I'm doing right now, speaking to you. I always end up making excuses for myself, saying that it wouldn't work, saying that I'm not good enough. In spite of all the evidence that existed in my life, I still made excuses of why I couldn't achieve. I know you don't know who I am. I know you never seen me before. But from this point forward, I promise that you'll see a lot more of me. Because speaking to people and letting people into my life and letting people hear my passion about what I'm doing and how passionately I live life is my purpose. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with fame. But when you have something chasing you for years after years after years, it will beat you down. Nothing feels right. Nothing seems to fit in your life. No matter how many times you try to reinvent yourself, it just doesn't feel natural. And those moments is when you have to realize that I'm not walking in my purpose because my purpose is too big. So what did I do? I created other avenues to fill in a void that was just too big to fill. See, when you have purpose in your life, when you have a reason, when you have dreams, if those dreams are not being fulfilled, nothing else seems to matter. Nothing else seems to make you happy. Nothing does. For 12 years, I sat on my ass with all the evidence in the world telling me that Kev, you can do this. Kev, you were born for this. I listened to the naysayers. I listened to people who had no dreams at all telling me about mine. But listen, your belief matters. I don't want to sound cliche, but the amount of belief that you have in yourself will determine how far you go, how big you become, how much you walk into your purpose. You have to believe in you. Example, I was born on the east side of Detroit, right? Born and raised. Single mom, worked at the post office downtown. I was by myself as a kid. My mother started at the post office when I was just 1. So I was always alone, just me and my brother. And being alone, dude, I faced so much pain and so much agony. I was beaten, I was molested. The first time I tried to commit suicide, I was 8 years old. 8 years old. I tried to hang myself and kill myself. I was labeled illiterate in the third grade. I failed the 3rd and 7th grades in school. When I was as a teenager, I joined gangs. Went to prison at 17. Never finished in high school. The only grade I finished was the 9th grade. But see, prison for me was an intervention. It was where I met my first mentor. It's where I learned how to read. That's where I got my GED. I came home, wanted nothing more but to walk into my purpose, wanted to better my life. Not even understanding my purpose at that point, actually. Ended up getting married to find out that my wife was addicted to heroin. She ended up getting pregnant and left me and my son by ourselves. Now here I am, a single father. I didn't want to be the kind of father that just told my son what to do. I wanted to show him that regardless of what your past said, regardless of what statistics say, that you can achieve and generate success for yourself no matter what happens, no matter what you go through, no matter what kind of cards you dealt with, you can play that fucking hand. I use education as a catalyst for that. I went to Wayne State University, one of the largest research institutions in this country, and only with a GED. That little kid that was labeled illiterate, that failed the 3rd and 7th grade, that went to prison, that tried to commit suicide, that did all those things. When I graduated from Wayne State University, out of 4,000 graduates, I was the #1 graduate. I was the first black president of the student government for the School of Business where I majored in accounting. I was nominated as one of the top business students in Michigan by Crane's Business Magazine. I was. Then I went on to write a book called Chasing Crows, traveling all across the country, telling my story. In Donald Trump's first campaign run, in an interview with my pastor, he heard of my story of how even though I had all these accolades, that people wouldn't hire me, but my pastor did. He heard my story and that ignited his prison reform change. My story from the inner city of Detroit reached the ears of a president and caused a reform to our prison system. I'm not saying all this to brag. I'm saying this because it wasn't enough to believe in myself. Well, President Trump first term was 8 years ago, going on 9, and I still didn't believe in me. I graduated from undergrad in 2005 and got my master's in 2010. Overcome some odds, and still, that wasn't enough for me to believe in myself. I had a whole bunch of people telling me how great I am, how smart I am, how accomplished I am. It wasn't good enough. The only time, which is right now, that I start to believe in myself is when I realize that I'm good enough. How did that come about? Because all the people I love suffered. They suffered for 12 years of me trying to get my shit together and believe in me. My children suffered. They lived the life that they weren't supposed to live. I did all this shit, had all this pain I went through, and they didn't even benefit from anything. They suffered. My wife suffered because she couldn't get the man that she thought she married. They suffered. All because I didn't believe in myself. Listen, you have to block out the noise, block out the opinions, block out how everybody else lives, and look at you and understand that your life is worthy, that you're capable, that you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. It's not cliche. You have to believe in yourself. Understand your worth and your value and go after your life. Period. Listen, don't let the people you love suffer because you're afraid. And I must admit, going down a road that you're not familiar with is very scary. But how are you as scared of something you don't even know the result of? How? What's scary is living a life in fear, never reaching the potential that you're made to reach. Never helping the person that you're created to help. You have to understand that you are worthy and that you are capable. And that believing in yourself is the currency for your success. Hey, this is KevB from the D. When I say D, you know what it means. Detroit City. And I need you to always remember, chase your life. I'm out.